President William Ruto has affirmed that there will be no handshake between him and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga, insisting instead on the bipartisan parliamentary approach that he proposed on Sunday. Speaking in Rwanda at the start of a two-day state visit, the president said a handshake would create a mongrel of a government that would only bring confusion. Here in Nairobi, Azimio leader Raila Odinga also declared that he was not interested in a handshake, and now he wants talks to take place outside Parliament in a manner similar to the Kofi Annan brokered talks of 2008. Our political affairs reporter Emmanuel Tor with that story.
Speaking in Kigali on his first day of the two-day visit to Rwanda, President William Ruto sought to clear the air on any form of a handshake between him and the opposition leader Raila Odinga, asserting that the discussion was off the table.
There will be no handshake, but there will be an engagement in Parliament on the issues that have been raised. Those that Parliament can resolve, they will be resolved.
The president reiterating that he would only operate within the law, floating the option of the office of the leader of the official opposition, as Odinga also refuted any plans for a handshake.
Unfortunately for us in Kenya, a handshake has a different connotation. And that is the one that I am talking about. The handshake that brings the opposition and government into some conundrum and a mongrel and an outfit that is undemocratic, unconstitutional.
We have never talked about a handshake. That is a language coming from the other side. They're the ones who have been saying, oh, these people, unataka tu handshake, nusu mukati, and so on. Take it to Mr. Gachagua. Tell me, I don't even want to shake his hands.
Speaking after the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya parliamentary group meeting held in Nairobi, Odinga also called for the expansion of the bipartisan talks to include members outside Parliament, with Azimio disclosing that a 14-member committee was being crafted to lead the bipartisan parliamentary process.
It has been suggested that we will have a committee of 14, that is 7. This is from Parliament, both houses of Parliament. But we have said that this process, we want it to be akin to the process that was led by Kofi Annan. That is we're going to have members of Parliament in it, but they are going to sit outside Parliament. They will negotiate and only take the final product to Parliament as an accord, which will then be passed by Parliament.
At the same time, the opposition also fired a warning shot at the government that it will not hesitate to go back to the streets if it senses any form of laxity from the government side on the counter offer that led to the current truce.
If the other side does not cooperate, then we will have no other option but to go back to the trenches. And this will be maybe as early as sometimes next week.
The former Prime Minister also sought to lift the lead on the intrigues that led to the truce arrived at on Sunday that led to the suspension of the two-week demonstrations.
The request came from the other side, and our people responded and gave conditions. There have even been allegations that I met Mr. Ruto, maybe I don't know, in the Mara and so on. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Azimio is slated to have a parliamentary group meeting this Thursday in Machakos County to come up with the names of the ad hoc committee, as the Kenya Kwanza coalition also plans one before Tuesday next week. Meanwhile, the UDA party has called out Raila's new request to expand the negotiations team, the Secretary General Cleopas Malala adding that it was in fact insincere that Odinga was shifting goalposts amidst the discussions. Emmanuel Tor, KT News, Nairobi.
Thanks, Emmanuel. Kenya's political history has always found a way of repeating itself. A truce between President William Ruto and